Hello, this is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. This week's edition is Hydra Tribal. We're going to keep it. We have one Hydra and we have some of our support pieces in the Ozolith, which I've yet to resolve and see in action. It's definitely not our best looking hand ever, but Cavern, well, let's see if they're playing control magic. That could be good. So what is more powerful, Hardened Scales or the Ozolith? Well, we are going to find out. So they didn't have anything to answer the Hardened Scales. Well, they have a counterspell for the Ozolith. Should we have played that one first? Alright, deck, we don't want to see any more lands. So yeah, we're playing a Gruul deck, has some similar pieces to our Dragons deck. Utopia Sprawl's nice. Guess we'll go get the old Stomping Ground. See if they counter this Utopia Sprawl. Well, we already have. I'll probably still put it on green. So let the Sprawl go. Do they counter the Ozolith? They do not. Alright, well things are looking good for us. No idea what our opponent's up to. Could be blue-black control without much counter magic. Blue-black control with counter magic, thinking they're going to hold on to their pieces to save their counter magic for our payoffs. Unbeknownst to them, Murktide Hydra doesn't care about counter magic. And we do the Cabinet Soul, so... Excuse me, as I was saying, similar cards to the Gruul package in that we're playing our 3-mana Planeswalkers to help us ramp in Cure and Domri. Okay, is this a Grixis deck then? Lightning Bolt. Now we're left wondering, when do we want to run out this Murktide Hydra? It does die to Fatal Push. That's one thing where if this was a 5-drop that we were able to play, it does not die to Fatal Push. However, with the Ozolith, hopefully every subsequent Hydra we draw and cast will just be bigger and bigger. Can't be countered. It's a bit of a baby Hydra, but we want to commit something to the board and start pressuring our opponent's life total. And draw out a kill spell for the next Hydra, because then we'll get the Ozolith counters at Bowmaster. Alright, it's a lot of Bowmasters. They're going to race us, it looks like. And block. Alright, holding, preserving their life total. Growing their Orcish army. So yeah, one of our best draws would be the Goldvein Hydra. Swing in. The race is on. Will we draw something good? Hey, one of our best spells, the Goldvein Hydra. Unfortunately, and while this can't be countered, it can be killed or subtletied, unlike the Murktide Hydra. Alright, well, we top decked the exact card I said I wanted. See if they have some kind of answer. Subtlety, perhaps? No. Okay, the race is definitely on. Vigilance, Trample, Haste. What do they have? Another Bowmasters? No, they have the Otawara. Sure. We get Ozolith counters. Oh, that's so sweet. Do they have enough to kill us, though? I love the Ozolith. Alright, so they take a hit finally. We're on a 3-turn clock. And they are on a 2-turn clock. Unless they have a kill spell for this. And they just scoop it up. Alright, I guess they do not. They know it's coming. The Ozolith is going to make things a lot bigger. Oh, another Goldvein Hydra. I didn't even get to finish my deck breakdown. The action was Too Fast and Too Furious. What a great name for that movie. Too Fast, Too Furious. Okay, we're looking at Grixis control. Maybe the Veil of Summers. The Ozolith, man, what a card. We saw the power of it. That's the first time I resolved it, and holy cow. Super powerful. So I made a slight change to the deck. I took out one copy of the Ozolith since it's a legendary artifact, and I put in an additional copy of Murktide Hydra. So we'll trim a little bit. One Hardened scales down. Maybe, I mean, the Ozolith just made it so that our opponent's answers didn't do enough, and they had a problem with this Murktide Hydra being pro-blue, it looked like, and just getting bigger and bigger. Or Goldvein Hydra getting bigger and bigger. I really like the Pelucranos as just another beater. So maybe we take out one Ozolith and one Utopia Sprawl for the Veil of Summers, running like that. Alright, so I started out with, okay, I'm going to make Hydra, so I'm going to start with the Gruul shell that I have for the dragons with the Mana Dorks, Utopia Sprawl, Domri, and Kiora. And I was thinking, that's just sort of boring. I've done that. Why do it again? This is a pretty nice hand. It doesn't have a Veil of Summer. If we get Thoughtseize, I'm curious what they take. And so then I decided that, ooh, Shivan Devastator, I love you. Alright, they'll probably counter this Utopia Sprawl, don't you think? A single blue mana tells me counterspell. Oh no, they're going to let it go. We're going to pick green here because of Pelucranos. So anyway, I thought that was not very exciting. And then also Hardened Scales synergizes so nicely with the Hydra since they're putting counters on them. And once you go down the Hardened Scales route, I was thinking, man, the Ozolith would be really powerful too. And we just saw how powerful it is. So then that's changed basically my turn 1 mana ramp plan from Mana Dorks into just still a Utopia Sprawl. Okay, so the highest payoff here is Domri for the uncounterability of things. Kiora is pretty high payoff for card draw though. What are the chances they're holding up counter magic versus just Bowmasters? Well, we're just going to continue to run things out into their counter magic. And then hopefully this Domri will stick if they counterspell this, which it looks like they will. Wow, Aether Gust. Okay. We'll put that on top. Kiora is one of our best cards, so they're time walking us a little bit. But we don't care, because we're going to play our land, play a Kiora, perhaps. They didn't even get a mountain or a swamp for their Bowmasters. Field of Ruin. Sneaky, sneaky opponent. Sneaky, sneaky. And they're going to shuffle away our Kiora. Alright. Well, if that's what they want to do this turn, we are okay with that. Because that means we're going to get a Domri down. And that makes things uncounterable. It should cause a problem for our opponent. Another Shivan Devastator. Holy cow, I love it so much. We could run out a little baby Mistcutter, but why would you want to run out a baby Mistcutter when you can run out a Domri? Don't forget to plus it up. And you see the synergies. Hardened Scales doesn't ramp us into a turn 2 Planeswalker, but it does function basically as a mana dork in the late game. When we go to play our Hydras, it does add a counter. And it doesn't die to things like Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push or Solitude. It doesn't get got by Subtlety. I mean, it has its own right. It can get Prismatic Ended or Leyline Binding or whatever. So it's not like it's invulnerable or anything, but it does dodge a lot of what some of the most commonly played removal that sees us play a turn 1 mana dork and only to have it die, and then it slows us down. So we often were playing at the same pace we would be anyway, but we're not losing our turn 1 play. Now what do we do? Opponent at 6 cards, making a land drop. Preordaining. I kind of just want to run out the Shivan Devastator, to be honest. And I guess if they don't put a blocker down, maybe I'll do Mistcutter Hydra. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll be a 4/4. Alright, so they're one top, one bottom, and then the shuffle. Guess they drew the land that they were after. A little Murktide action. A little Grixis Murktide. Man, we would love to draw a land. So we could do... If we draw a land, we get to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we don't need to even draw a land. Kiora. I'm going to say if we can draw a land, we can cast this Mistcutter and have it fight. Oh, Kiora. Kiora. Alright, so we play the Kiora. Then we'll have the 3 mana. If we play the Shivan Devastator, we can make it 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be a 4/4, which isn't good enough. The Mistcutter is a 4/4 as well. They have the Fatal Push up. Kind of just want to play this Kiora. Man, we could really have used that land instead. See, because right now we could... Oh no, we couldn't even do that. Alright. So then we will untap. And we can Bone Crusher Giant fight. Draw a card. The Ozolith. Alright, got rid of that guy, setting us up. So that was their big play. You can see the power of Domri and why I didn't want to cut it, just because it's in the Dragons deck, and I'm trying to make this deck a little bit different. Hardened Scales and the Ozolith synergize really well with our game plan, but Domri is so powerful. Kiora is so powerful. I mean, yeah, we had to jump through a lot of hoops, but we advanced our board state, cleared their board. We have a handful of action. We have the Ozolith, which is one of our best draws to go with what we're trying to do here. Opponent's in trouble. I mean, they might be able to get another big Murktide out. Haha, sad face. Alright, well then maybe they're going to get another big Murktide out right now. So the uncounterability of things, they don't have double blue for counterspell though. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is run out, assuming once this lag goes away, the Ozolith. See if that draws out anything. It does not. I have 3 cards in hand. We're going to get a 5/5. Too bad it's not a 6/6, but can't have it all, I guess. Oh, the Hydra is just coming together so nicely right now. Bowmasters, sure. They will get to... We did get to draw an extra card though, so they're going to end up... They're going to jump block, yeah, alright. Bowmasters is not as scary as some other things. They're down to 3 cards once they draw. We have, man, a cavern would make me feel happy about our chances of resolving these things, but 2 cards in hand. What are they gonna be? I mean, they dug through a lot of their deck. Put an Archmage's Charm in the graveyard. What are they digging for? Do they already have it? Alright. They're gonna draw 2 cards. Looking for counter magic, and they scoop it up. Alright, well, they don't even know what's in our hand, but I guess the Ozolith is just that powerful. And honestly, what's coming, if they don't have counter magic, they're in big trouble. I mean, 2 Shivan Devastators, and I mean, look at the action coming off the top. Oh, what a performance from the Hydras, just overpowering our opponent's game plan. Can't interact with our uncounterable things, either via Mistcutter Hydra or Domri. Bowmasters is fairly laughable against these gigantic Hydras. They're so weak to Fatal Push, but our opponent just couldn't find the Fatal Pushes, I guess. The Ozolith showing off its power level. Alright, I had to take a day off from playing Magic yesterday because my son was sick. But we're back right where we left off a couple days ago. We're now 4-0. This is Johnny Cycles from cyclesgaming.com. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky with Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my website, cyclesgaming.com, for original Magic the Gathering content. You can read about my Commander decks or my Janky Modern brews. My latest article is about the Zombie Precon and its effect on Commander. I give you a couple different deck lists. If you're interested in a science fiction / fantasy novel, be sure to check out my book, The Podcon. I'm publishing it serially, a couple chapters every month. Again, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.